What if I told you someone made $6 million in one night using 50x leverage? Sounds insane, right? Well, here's where it gets even crazier. This mysterious trader timed Trump's announcement almost perfectly, and not just once. He turned his 4 million into 14 million in just a few days. Was it pure luck or genius? Or is this the biggest insider trading scandal in crypto history? So being today is the crypto summit, could this happen again? Who knows? So in today's show, we're gonna investigate what happened, tracking his moves, and exposing the shocking connection between his wallets and the Trumps. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy you're here. My name is Jessica. Let's get into today's video. Okay, so this is where it all starts, right? I shared this like 3 videos ago, basically where Donald Trump, shares his post on Truth Social, which is his own social media platform. Anyway, and he makes this post, right? Announcing there's officially going to be a US crypto reserve, and this is going to elevate the country after so many attacks, basically a huge, after the financial attack by the Biden administration, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then he says it's going to include XRP, Solana, ADA, and it's also, then he follows up, quotes his own post by saying, and of course it's going to include Bitcoin and Ethereum. So he sends out this post on March 3rd. And then of course, we then later see all of the tokens that he mentioned start pumping like crazy. We saw a huge rally. Everyone was excited. Anyway, then Monday morning rolled around on the East Coast in the US, because of course this news happened over the weekend, which was fantastic and is part of today's video because Eric Trump tweets about this, right? Or he posts about this. So anyway, as we see here by Mario Nafal, he shares a screenshot with us all. And this is how all of the tokens that Trump mentioned in his announcement would be part of this crypto reserve as part of the Bitcoin strategic reserve all started pumping. So they all start pumping, and then we see this announcement, right, that you see on my screen here by Bitcoin News, basically flood X. And everyone's talking about this insider. And let me just read it for you. So it says, alert, insider trading on Trump's crypto reserve announcement. Yesterday, a whale went 50x long. That's, excuse my language, that's like so ballsy. 50x long on BTC and ETH using just 4 million to create a $200 million position. He has now closed most of his trades, raking in over 6.8 million in a day. His timing perfectly aligned with Trump's Truth Social post, confirming a US crypto reserve. If crypto had dipped even a tiny bit, this guy would have been liquidated. He went long at ETH at 2,197, with his liquidation just slightly below it at 2,149.4. And he went long on Bitcoin at 85,908, with his liquidation at 84,752. So now he's cashed out with millions in profit. Was it a coincidence or something more? So let's get into who's thinking what and what the logic is, or what the clues tell us, And I share this today because today or tomorrow, depending on when you watch this and where you are, whether in Asia or in the US, today is going to be the crypto summit. So today is a tradable day for you. And so who knows if this same guy who's now removed all of his earnings, his winnings, off from this wallet and has moved it somewhere else, which we'll get into right now. But anyway, we have that Martini guy comment on this saying, is this Barron? Is this, the youngest Trump son? Because it's very, very coincidental, and it would be very, very irresponsible and dangerous for anyone associated to the Trumps to do this. And I feel like all of the Trump children and all of those associated with the Trumps are mature in age and aware of the laws and aware of the trouble they could get into if they were to do insider trading. But the only one in the circle that's very young, and we all know how we were and the things we've done, when we were teenagers. This sounds like something very, very irresponsible, very ballsy, if it is related to the Trumps. But there's reason to believe. Like, let's just look at the way things unfold, and you can make up your own mind on what you think. But here we have this shared by Travis Matthew on when, Donald Trump was announcing his tariffs on American allies, remember? And the stock market started to collapse.
The United States has been taken advantage of for 40 years. The United States has been a laughingstock for years and years. That's why this gentleman is built in Taiwan instead of building here. It would have been better if he built here if we had a president that knew what they were doing. And we had a lot of them very bad on trade.
So Trump makes this announcement. The stock market starts crashing. And then, coincidentally, the same trader who suspiciously timed and profited on the 6.8 million from the Trump tweet has now profited again from the massive dump the day after, which came with Donald Trump's announcement of tariffs that we just saw. So not only did he very specifically long, right, put in some leveraged longs on Bitcoin and ETH right as it's happening, like right as Trump is making his announcement on the Bitcoin strategic reserve and the crypto in which cryptos were going to be involved. So not only does he time it on the front end, but then he also times it on the back end. When Trump makes this tariff announcement, he also knows when to exit. So it's extremely, extremely coincidental. It would have to be someone that knew the time of announcements, right? And was willing, like very willing and willing to put their neck out there. That's a lot of money to gamble with. Some people have more money, right? But I think millions of dollars in general, no matter how wealthy you are, that's significant money, So for someone to be so willing to leverage 50x and time it so perfectly on the entry and on the exit, that speaks of someone that's definitely an insider to me. Because if he did it one time on the front end, okay. But to also time it on the back end with the tariffs announcement, that's too coincidental for me anyway. But let me know what you think, right? And then to gamble with so much money, to me, that also speaks of someone very rich, obviously, that can afford to gamble with that much money. So everyone is talking about this person, this whale who leveraged so much. Everyone's thinking, it's either an insider or a gambler. I think it's an insider because, as I said, it's too coincidental to time it on the front end and the back end and to gamble with so much. So to me, it definitely points, it could very well be Barrett because he's young, but he's not so young. And we all remember what we were like at 18, very, very sort of ballsy and fearless. So to me, it does sound like Barron, especially with the way that it's covered up. But let me know what you think. Anyway, so this is where it gets very interesting. And it just sounds kind of clumsy and funny, like the way a kid would clean up their tracks once they mess up, like the way they would lie and then lie again and then lie again to try to fix a lie. Just check this out. So then this person changes their name because they did it on Hyperliquid, right? So then they changed their name to March 7th. Super strategic, right? Come on, that's almost cheesy. It's almost funny. It's so we're so being trolled. It's very funny. It's something that an 18-year-old would find funny. That's why I personally do think it is barren. Okay, and then let's keep going. Then we have David Sachs, who he goes on to, so let's just read, right? So he shares the official announcement of the crypto summit. It says President Trump will host the first White House crypto summit on Friday, March 7th. So very, very coincidental, right? That this troll and wealthy gambler would name their account March 7th, right? Coincidental? I don't think so. So anyway, then, okay, I guess once they realize that, I don't know, I don't want a reason for whoever this is, but then they go ahead and they change their name from March 7th to Eric, like Eric Trump, right? Which Eric would this possibly be? And it's such a sibling thing for me to do. Let me know what you think. But once, to be he did it, or she did it. It's so cheesy. It's so funny. But anyway, this is their wallet. If you want to track it, there's currently nothing in it and you can see it Hyperliquid. I will repost this so you can go find it and track it yourself if you want. But chances are they're going to use a new wallet now, right? But just so you can go do your own research, go look at what happened. So anyway, then, and of course they would blame it on Eric Trump. It's so cheesy. Come on, and we all know that Eric Trump is, he loves crypto, and this is one of his tweets or posts saying that he loves the genius of announcing a strategic reserve on Sunday when traditional markets are closed and Wall Street sleeps. And then, of course, he says something so true here. He says, for the first time, retail investors win. Traditional finance better catch up or it will quickly become extinct. The world no longer runs on a Monday to Friday 9 to 5. And that's why I think this exchange that Texas is starting is going to be so brilliant, because I believe it's the first. I'd have to go do some follow-up research on them, but it's going to be like a proper like exchange, not just crypto exchange, but traditional markets as well. So that's going to be a game changer. Anyway, then we have Eric Trump come out on the same day saying, "You're welcome, my friend. Hopefully I made someone's life just a little bit better. Now my advice, hodl," quoting himself from before, saying, "Buy the dips." So I don't know if this is like a big brother swoops in to try to like confuse and diffuse and save the day. I don't know, but it's obviously not Eric Trump, because he's older, he's mature, and the implications for him would be pretty severe. And it would backlash on his father as the president, who's already had to deal with so many lawsuits. So I really don't think this is the acts of a mature adult. Anyway, we may see more of this inside trader child today. So watch out for it. Very likely, unless he got a talking to by his father and won't do it again. But anyway, then apparently we have this person come out called High Stakes Cap, whom I don't know. And I'm only sharing this with you because who knows, right? Like this happens all the time. Like just like Craig Wright and like so many people have pretended to be Satoshi because there's no way of proving it. So it's very easy to say like, oh, I know, because no one can prove you otherwise. So it's very kind of cheap, like a very kind of easy thing to say, right? But anyway, so this person, I don't know who they are, so I don't mean to speak bad against them, but apparently they say, that they know the guy who opened the 200 million on Hyperliquid. He messaged me after this comment, and it wasn't an insider, but a gambler. That's all I will say. Come on, like I don't buy this. Let me know if you buy it. It's such an easy thing to say to like diffuse the situation too. Like who knows? Like for all we know, this person also knows the Trumps, also knows Barron, or like I don't know what. Like it could, we don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying like I don't personally buy it. Let me know if you do. But this is Hyperliquid, and this is the account that is now called Eric. And as you can see, they moved all the value off, but their ROI in the last 30 days is 401.5%. Crazy. So anyway, they ended up sending all of their new earnings, 6.8 million, over to this wallet address, which you can now follow if you want. It's at DBank. Let me know if you want me to share this wallet address with you. But this is them. And you can see what's very interesting. And there's a whole science on this, like on Web3 blockchain forensics and tracking. It's very interesting, but we're doing high level here today. You can see what they're invested in. So like gold, ETH, staked. They have some staked DAI, and they're lending ETH, wrapped ETH on Aave. So it gives you an idea on what they value, and this could be insightful for you. But yeah, so I would be tracking this wallet. If you're interested, let me know. I can share this with you in the comments, or take a screenshot and go look them up. But yeah. So now moving forward, as I said, now we have the summit coming up on Friday today. So it's a huge, huge day. Like if you're a trader, I said this in my yesterday video, if you're a trader, then today could be interesting for you to explore. And if you're not a pro trader, then only gamble short or long what you can afford to lose. But today could be everyone. Today is going to be volatile is all I'm going to tell you. Friday is going to be volatile, and depending on the news that they announce, it won't matter. It may just send Bitcoin up, but typically, I don't know, I don't really do anything on like the actual news day, because it's usually sell the news. People will sell on good news because they know the price is going to pump, so they take profit. But anyway, apparently the event is scheduled from 1:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. So keep your eyes peeled. If you can tune into the news, I would, on Thailand time. So I will do my best. But these are the confirmed invitees, and you can tell based on who they are. This is quite valuable. I will also retweet this so that you can go check it out on my page. It's very small, but you can see who's invited. It's Michael Saylor, of course, Bo Hines, very interesting. He actually, I think, ran for some leadership position in some state, didn't win, and now he's like executive director of the Presidential Council for Advisors of Digital Assets. He's very young too. David Sachs is going to be there, of course. He's going to be leading the event. David F. Bailey from Bitcoin Magazine, Matt Huang from co-founder of Paradigm, Kyle Samani, managing partner at Multicoin Capital, Zach Witkoff, co-founder of World Liberty Financial, Sergey Nazarov, co-founder of Chainlink, Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, CEO of Coinbase, Vlad Tenev from Robinhood, of course, Arjun Sethi, Kraken CEO, and JP Richardson, Exodus CEO. And you can see all the tokens here. It's so valuable. That's why I shared it with you. These are all the tokens associated with these companies or projects. So these will be very interesting, I think, to check out. And of course, don't just go buy them all, but chances are many of these tokens will be mentioned or are going to be involved or somehow affected this crypto strategic reserve. That said, people are really leaning into this, like more to come at the summit comment at the end of David Sachs' last post, because it sounds like there may be a lot more to mention or that may be mentioned at this crypto summit. This is shared by Kyle Chasse and a comment by Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, who basically says the strategic Bitcoin reserve will be announced at Trump's White House summit. So it's going to be a big day, a big, big day. And that said, what's interesting and what we have to remember is that it's just going to be interesting. Like the fact that these other crypto are going to be included in the Bitcoin strategic reserve or in the crypto reserve as part of it doesn't mean they're going to be treated the same. And that's what Howard Lutnick says. So he says the model is going to be announced, or how they're going to be treated. The model will be announced on Friday. So that'll be so interesting. And the trick is, like, if you were to read this whole article, it's really long, so I won't read it to you, but Bitwise Investments, the trick is that no matter what, right? And this, what I'm about to say also goes for the, I shouldn't mention it, but like the horrible conversation that happened between Zelensky and Trump and JD in the White House and the comments that were said and everything. Like the problem is that, and as is mentioned here in this article, is that it's not just us watching the news. We know this. Like other countries are watching our news too. The world follows the US. Like that's just sort of the way it goes, you know? So the thing is that no matter how these other altcoins are treated or not, the point is that the Bitcoin strategic reserve is going to move forward. And the rest of the world is seeing this and they're not going to want to get left behind. And it's basically going to provoke a bit of a race, as I've said in previous videos, like a supply crunch. It's going to become, just like a money grab. And that is what's very interesting. And that's why I believe Friday really could end up sending the parabolic bull run phase of this cycle. Like it really likely could. And I have a feeling it will. Like, yeah, it's going to be a parabolic day because people are going to be taking profits. So it will affect the price, but it's going to be like official, like off to the races, like shooting the gun off to the races. And that's what I believe is going to happen. But we will see, guys, and we'll talk about it on Monday when I'm back. But apparently, Trump is also planning to slash capital gains on tax on crypto held for over a year. That's going to be fantastic, like so fantastic. I'm so happy, personally happy about it too. Anyway, we have here this article, basically talking about how Eric Trump, who was blamed, as the inside trader, goes on to say, more about this and talk about how this is really a move aimed at fostering more onshore innovation and positioning the US as a global leader in blockchain and digital assets. He goes on to say that according to various sources, Eric Trump allegedly confirms that US-based crypto projects would be exempt from capital gains. However, a 30% capital gain tax would be levied or imposed on non-US based projects. So they're making the line very clear. They're really trying to be pro-America, pro-American innovation, pro-American crypto, entrepreneur, dope project. So it's good for the nation. Very, very good for the nation. And that said, we wrap it up with this strong statement by Trump saying, he promised to make America the crypto capital of the world.
Jones Industrial Average is up
Excuse me.
2,200 points, and Bitcoin has set multiple all-time record highs because everyone knows that I'm committed to making America the crypto capital. We want to stay at the forefront of everything, and one of them is crypto, and Miami seems to be the center of the action, come to think of it, and maybe it'll stay there. Business Jones and
Awesome, huh? But okay, guys, that's a wrap on today's video and on this week's content. And I'll be back on Monday to cover what happened with the market. Keep in mind, it's going to be a little volatile, but I have a hunch, and we'll find out if I'm wrong or right, that this may very well send the market, just take off from here. And I hope so. So anyway, take care, have fun, make sure to take care of your mental health, make sure you sleep well, you eat well, make sure you laugh and have a good time this weekend, because you have to take care of how you feel and your mind in order to do well in everything that you do. So anyway, I love you, and I will be back here on Monday. Ciao.